I first found this wooden pizza peel from my local thrift store. Grabbing some blue painter's tape, I'm just going to tape off the top portion of it. And then using Waverly chalk paint in the color Ocean, I just gave the top part one good coat of this color. I did not paint this to perfection. I really wanted some of that wood to kind of peek through. But if you want it to be painted perfectly, by all means do that. Then grabbed this star stencil off of Amazon, finding a good placement for it at that top, holding it down with some more blue painter's tape, then grabbing some Waverly chalk paint in the color plaster, using a Dollar Tree cut up sponge. You want to make sure you have a small amount of paint on your sponge or dabber when you go to apply this on stencils. That will prevent any kind of bleeding. And then just begin lightly dabbing all throughout, peel it off, and look at how cute that is. I then just let that completely dry, and I just added one more star to the top of the handle. I peeled that blue painter's tape off, but then applied another piece of blue painter's tape to cover and protect the blue part. And then started adding some blue painter's tape going vertically. So I just added 3 pieces. One of them is going to be used as my spacer, and then just continue doing this until the entire surface is covered in that blue painter's tape. Then using Waverly chalk paint in the color Crimson, I just began painting in between those pieces of blue painter's tape. And again, I didn't do this to perfection. I only did this with one coat. You want to just allow that to completely dry and then go ahead and peel off that tape. But leave the piece that is laying horizontally. And then you're going to go over the red pieces with some more blue painter's tape, because we're going to paint in between with a different color. And once those were covered, I then just used some more of that Waverly chalk paint in the color plaster, and again, just went in between those pieces of blue painter's tape, allow that to completely dry, and then you're good to peel off that blue painter's tape. Now you could leave it the way it is, but of course I like the weathered look, so I am using some Waverly Antique Wax, and I just began applying this all throughout the pizza peel. And this is also going to help me for the next step, because I wanted kind of a darker background. But look at how cute that is. Next, I made this stencil off of my Cricut machine, so I'm just taking the vinyl right off of the backing and then just placing it onto the surface. I'm trying to make sure that it is as centered as possible. And make sure you just kind of smooth it down, make sure that there are no air bubbles, make sure that the vinyl is completely adhered. And then go ahead and peel off that transfer tape. Carefully, you want to make sure that all the vinyl is sticking to the wooden surface. And then again with Waverly chalk paint in the color plaster and another piece of Dollar Tree cut up sponge, I just began dabbing that chalk paint all throughout the stencil. And once that was covered, go ahead and peel that off and allow that chalk paint to completely dry. And for some reason, even though I waxed the surface prior to using the vinyl stencil, some of the paint actually peeled off with the vinyl, but I was totally okay with it. I think it made it look super weathered more than it already was. So I just kind of sanded around it to make it look nice and even. But there you go, guys. I hope this inspires you guys to go out and create your own in your own special way. If it did, please be sure to sprinkle the love. Thank you so much, and I hope y'all have a good rest of your day. Thanks. Bye.